Today I will show you how you can spawn a custom squad that will move and mount any static weapons and defend an area you specify. Alright, we're going to set up a little scenario, and first thing we're going to do is we're going to place an unarmed rifleman. Place him right about here. He's just going to act as an observer, and next we're going to place some statics. So we're going to go down to turrets, and we're going to place a HMG ranged, basically 50 caliber, just to be about right there. And then we're going to place a mortar. We'll place the mortar right about here, and then we'll place an AA Titan launcher right about there. Alright, that's our statics. Next we're going to go to markers, and we're going to scroll in, and we're just going to place a flag marker. We're going to put it right about here. We're going to edit the marker. We're going to name this spawn 1, and that's it for the marker. Next we're going to go to triggers, and we're going to choose a trigger without a size. We're just going to place it right in the middle. We're going to edit the trigger. We're going to put under the text spawn squad, and then we're going to set it to repeatable, and we're going to go to activation and set this to radio alpha. And that's all we're going to do for the moment. I'm going to actually write up a code that I'm going to put into this on activation box. So let's just hit OK for now, and then we're going to save our mission. So click on the save icon, and we're going to put this on Malden, and we're going to name this task defend. Alright, that's our scenario. I'm going to write up a code. I'm going to just share this code with you. Let's go to the scenario tab at the top left, and then down to where it says open scenario folder. Alright, here we are in our mission folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up a notepad document, and we're going to go one line down. Now you don't have to copy this code. I'm not going to put this up on the screen. I mean, you could probably copy what I do here, but I'm going to share this notepad document in the description of the video so you can download it and then use the code from there. But if you want to copy it, it's up to you. This is basically two functions that are going to work together. Let's get started. Our first line is going to be underscore squad 1 space equals space left square bracket get marker has space quote spawn 1 end quote. Now spawn 1 is actually the marker that we placed in our scenario, and that's basically where the squad's going to spawn. Next we put a comma and then space and then west. West defines the side that the squad is going to be on. Then we'll just hit enter. We'll put left square bracket quote end quote comma quote end quote, and then right square bracket again, space call space bis underscore fnc underscore spawn group, and then semicolon. Next we hit enter and we go one line down. So this first code here, basically you have a squad that will spawn at marker 1. They are from the side of the west, and then it'll use custom class names, which we have to get yet, and this uses the spawn group function. So you guys seen this code before if you've watched any of my previous videos where we spawn a custom squad. So that's basically the same code. Now the new code that we're going to add to this is going to be left squiggly bracket left square bracket space underscore x comma space get pos atl space leader, and then space underscore x right square bracket space call space bis underscore fnc underscore task defend with a capital D, and then right squiggly bracket, and then space 4 each with capital E space left square bracket underscore squad 1 and then right square bracket and then a semicolon. We hit enter. We're just going to add a hint just for feedback. So we're going to put in hint space quote and then a squad has spawned exclamation point end quote and then semicolon. Alright, so here's the code. So we have two functions here. So we have the squad that will spawn, and we have to still get the class names. Then we have the task defend code. This group will spawn, and then once they spawn within an area, they will basically mount any static or turrets in the area that can be mounted, provided they could see them. And then of course this just gives a hint when they spawn. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to go back into the mission and get some class names to add to this code. So let's go do that right now. Alright, so we're going to create a little custom squad. We're going to go to men, and then we're just going to place down like 6 guys. So let's place the squad leader. Then I'm going to place down a rifleman. I'm going to place down a marksman. Place down a grenadier, combat lifesaver, and we're going to place down an auto rifleman. Alright, so we have our 6 units. What we do now is we just highlight these guys. So where they're all highlighted, and when they're all green like that, then you just right click one of them and then you go down to where it says log and then log classes to clipboard. Once you do that, class names will be logged. Just delete these guys, and then we go back to our notepad document back on our desktop. And now what we do is we go to this box here and we press Control V, and that's going to paste the class names that we acquired or logged in the scenario. So what we need to do now is we need to add quotes to all of these, before and after, just like that, and then a comma after each one of them, and no comma at the end there. And we'll just choke this up a little bit. Alright, so here's our code. We have our custom squad. So what we do now is we just highlight this whole thing, press Control C, which will copy it. Let's go back into the game, and then we're going to add this to the triggers on activation box and then test it out. Alright, back in the mission. So we go to the trigger, edit the trigger, and then we go to the on activation box and press Control V. That'll paste the code, and then we just hit OK and save it. Now we'll just test it out. Let's go to the map a second. So just remember that our marker here is where the squad is going to spawn. Alright, so we go to 0 on the keyboard, then down to radio, and then here's our spawn squad that we added the text to the trigger. We just hit enter.
Gunner, get in that vehicle. 6. Gunner, get in that vehicle. Roger.
Alright, so we got mounted that. And these guys aren't going to be immersive, like they're going to go up the stairs, then get into vehicle and stuff. So they're going to do that. Now, if we go over here, one of them didn't get into the mortar, so here's what we'll do. We'll go back to the editor. We'll just move the marker just a little bit, and then we'll move the mortar over here so that it's in range, so when they spawn they'll be able to see all 3 statics. When they spawn, they may not get into all static weapons, so just keep that in mind. They may only get into one. It all depends. But either way, ideally what you want to do is to make sure that the static weapons are within range of wherever you're going to have your units. So let's try that. Let's save that and play it. Alright, so we go to 0, go to radio, and spawn our squad.
Get in that vehicle. 5. Gunner, get in that vehicle. 6. Gunner, get in that vehicle. Copy that.
Alright, there you go. Each one is mounted. And, well, these guys are useless, but I don't... There's other stuff that they could do, I'm sure, but... Alright, so as you can see, it's best to have these guys within range of the static weapons. Now let's go back to the editor. And I want to show you something different. You don't have to use the spawn code option. What you could do is, if we go to groups, we'll go to NATO, infantry, and then we'll spawn a fire team. Let's say right here. We'll save this, and then we'll go to my desktop. In the notepad, I added some notes, and I put some other information. This is for spawning the code, just a little description for you guys. And then below all the code is some notes I put here. It says, for units already pre-placed in the editor, like we just did, we put a fire team down. So what I said here is, if you use an already placed unit or squad, then put the following code in the squad leader's init box. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take this code here, and you're just going to copy it, press Control C, and then you're going to go into your mission. Let's go back to the mission. What you do now is you just edit the squad leader and paste that code into his init box. And then you just hit OK, and then we'll save that, play the scenario.
3, gunner, get in that vehicle. 4, gunner, get in that vehicle.
Copy that.
Alright, so you can see as they use that, I don't know what this guy's doing exactly, but that's part of the task defend function. They will sit. I don't really see the point of that, but whatever. So they obviously didn't mount that. I think if you have more units, they will. So you could actually, now you could spawn.
6, gunner, get that vehicle.
There you go. Alright, everybody, have a seat. You know, I don't understand why BI added that part of the function where they just sit. Like, what the hell is that? Anyways, alright, so you guys get the idea. That's 2 ways that you could do this. I will zip up that notepad document in the description of the video so you guys can download it and use those codes however you want. And for more codes and scripts, take a look at this playlist.